All right, everybody, welcome back for another deep dive. Today we're going to be talking about meme coins.
Okay.
So these are cryptocurrencies, that are often based on internet memes and humor and viral trends.
Yeah.
We have a research article here called Meme Coins: Regulations, Security, Risks, and Market Dynamics.
Right.
And we're going to really dig into this and see if these things are just a passing fad.
Mm-hmm.
Or, is there actually some value here?
Mm-hmm.
Is it all just a joke, or is there something really innovative and valuable happening?
Well, I think it's really interesting that the SEC has actually said that most meme coins aren't considered securities.
Oh, that's really surprising.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would think with all the, kind of hype and excitement and sometimes some of the questionable projects out there, you would think the SEC would be, all over them.
Right.
So I guess for someone who's maybe thinking about, dabbling in meme coins, what does that mean for them?
Well, I think it means there's less fear of sudden regulatory crackdowns.
Okay.
But at the same time, the SEC has also made it very clear that just because something isn't a security doesn't mean that it's safe.
Right.
There's still a huge amount of fraud and scams and things like that in the meme coin space.
Yeah. So it's kind of a mixed bag then. On the one hand, there's less regulation, but on the other hand, you're really kind of on your own when it comes to making sure you're not getting scammed.
Yeah.
And speaking of that one project that I read about called Baby Doge is actually trying to integrate AI-powered tools to kind of, combat some of these scams and impersonation attempts,
Right.
which seems, pretty forward-thinking. So do you think that could be effective?
Yeah, I think that's a good step in the right direction. Essentially, they're using AI to analyze patterns and behaviors, and they can flag transactions that might be suspicious or accounts that look like they might be trying to impersonate somebody. So it's not a foolproof solution by any means, but it's a sign that they're taking security seriously. And I think that's something that we need to see more of.
Yeah, and you kind of wonder why more projects aren't doing that. I mean, it seems almost like common sense.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the Bybit hack from earlier this year where, over $1 billion worth of Ethereum was stolen. And a lot of those funds were actually traced back to, you guessed it, meme coin scams.
That's right. And, that really highlights the fact that the whole crypto ecosystem is interconnected. So if there's a vulnerability somewhere, even on an established exchange like Bybit,
Right.
that can have ripple effects across the entire landscape and can definitely impact meme coins too. So it's not just about individual projects being secure, but about the security of the whole ecosystem.
Yeah, it really makes you realize, how much risk there is in this space. And we can't forget about the human cost of that risk.
Yeah.
There's that story recently that was really sad about the trader who took his own life after losing money on a meme coin.
It's a tragic reminder that these things are highly speculative. There are stories of people, making huge profits, but there's also the potential for really big losses, and you have to approach it with a clear understanding that there are serious risks.
And the meme coin market is known for its volatility, right?
Yeah, definitely. There was one week earlier this year where there was almost $887 million in liquidations.
Yeah.
And then there's the risk of rug pulls, which is when a developer abandons a project and takes off with everybody's money. So you could be investing in something that has a lot of hype and a lot of promises, and all of a sudden the developers are gone and your tokens are worthless.
Well, that's terrifying.
Yeah.
It really is kind of like a minefield out there. And
Yeah.
I also read about something called presidential rug pulls. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
Oh, yeah. That's when a prominent figure sometimes, even a president or somebody like that promotes a meme coin, and that pumps up the price. And then
Yeah.
they sell off all their holdings and the price crashes.
Wow. So it's like market manipulation from, people in positions of power.
It is. And unfortunately, the people who bought in based on that hype, they're the ones who are left holding the bag.
So you've got the inherent volatility, and then you've got the potential for scams and hacks and, even political manipulation.
Yeah.
It's no wonder people are wary of this space.
And then there's also been some hacking incidents linked to North Korea, which have drained even more capital and really damaged the credibility of a lot of these meme coins. So it's definitely a space that you have to approach very cautiously.
But there are some signs of growth and innovation as well. For example, DOG, which is considered Bitcoin's top meme coin, they recently expanded to the Solana blockchain.
Right. And that's significant because Solana is known for having really fast transaction speeds and very low fees. So that could potentially make DOG a lot more accessible to a wider audience and maybe help drive adoption.
Yeah. Do you think that's a real sign that meme coins are evolving, or is this just maybe a one-off?
It's hard to say for sure. It's certainly a positive development. but, it doesn't guarantee success. But it is interesting that they're looking beyond just hype and trying to build something more substantial.
Right, so it seems like meme coins are really a mixed bag right now. There's high risk, a lot of scams, a lot of volatility, but there are also some signs of innovation and some legitimate development.
Right.
So what do you think the future holds for meme coins? Are they going to mature into a legitimate part of the crypto landscape,
Mm-hmm.
or are they going to fade away like another internet fad?
That's the million-dollar question. I think it's a space that's changing so rapidly, it's really hard to predict. But it's definitely worth keeping an eye on.
Yeah, I know. I'll be watching with interest. And for our listeners, meme coins can be fun, but always do your research and invest responsibly. And we'll see you back here next time for another deep dive.